Greetings. Welcome to our webcast attendees around the world. I'm Doug Kennedy with Kennedy Training Network, coming to you from our headquarters in Atlanta. For those of you in US, I guess we should say a happy Juneteenth Day. It's certainly an important holiday. It's only been around about 5 years. It was when the general finally brought the Emancipation Proclamation to the state of Texas to notify all of the enslaved that they were finally free. So it's a great holiday here. Of course, in the hotel and hospitality industry, we work every day, including holidays. And we do have a lot of listeners around the world, so we hope you enjoyed joining us. Our topic today, reservation sales topic, maximizing rates and overcoming rate objections. So this is a very tactical, a very specific webcast today that is going to be important for those of you who are selling over the phone, also through email. We are targeting really the reservations type conversations. And however, this also applies, a lot of you are signed up from sales or hotel sales. Some of you are commercial strategy directors, some of you are marketing managers, some of you are general managers today. So we welcome you all. If it is your first time with us, in fact, looking over the attendee list today, we have a very high percentage of brand new first-time attendees. So we welcome you all. A couple of things I do want to mention. It is a rotating topic series. Every month we rotate to a different kind of target discipline within the field of the hospitality accommodations industry. So this month is focusing on the reservation sales. Next month, we're going to be focusing on hotel group and event sales. And I got some great new content that we're going to be adding. This week, I was at the High Tech Show, which is Hospitality Industry Technology Show, High Tech, probably the biggest show in North America for the hotel industry, possibly the world. And co-located there is the HSMAI Commercial Strategy Conference for the revenue and the marketing and the distribution folks. So I got a lot of good content to add for next month's webcast on hotel sales. And then finally, I may have had the dates wrong here. Then we rotate back to a hospitality topic. So we do rotate. But if it's your first time joining us, as we're waiting for the rest of our attendees to log in and be live, we have a high percentage of live attendees. We always do shout outs, and shout outs help me get in the mindset of thinking about who's out there. Sitting in our little office studio here, looking at a webcam and a little dot with a camera. And I try to imagine all the people around the world that we're touching today. So I'm going to shout out a lot of our international people today. First, we have the Hotel Mikasa. Gabby, thank you for joining us from Mexico. Soto Space Wellness, also in Mexico. We spent some time looking at your website. Amazing. Now I'm having FOMO. I really want to be there. Cruise on Land in the DR. In fact, we have a couple of from the DR today, Dominican Republic. Olga, thank you for joining us. I see on here also the another one here down my list somewhere. We have Hotel Maluri, Ryan, Malaysia. I've only been there once. I got a chance to do training in Kuala Lumpur. It was actually a master class, open class that I was brought in to teach years ago. So I don't know we've had anyone from Malaysia in a while. Ryan, thank you. The Grove, UK. So let's see, it's probably about 5 p.m. there if you're attending live, Fiona. Ultra luxury. Now we noticed the Hertfordshire Hotel. You're the primary home of the Harry Potter films. Now we have FOMO because we want to go there too. Pam Hotels. I believe. Yes, you're all over, Pam. Pam Hotels. Carla, thank you for joining us. Vacation Reservations, Debbie. Now you have properties in Paris, London, and Italy. Amazing. We have La Zebra Hotel, Tulum, Jorge, thank you. Empyrean Hotel in Luz, thank you for joining us. Hazelton, hello, Grace. Grace Arts, thank you for joining us from Toronto, Forbes 5-star Hotel. Coral Tree, another area of director of revenue. Cynthia, I hope you get value out of this. We have also some very interesting hotels here in the United States. Arctic Club up in Brandon, up in, I believe, Seattle, and Aspen Alps, Margate in Aspen, lovely place to go in the summer as well as the winter, and Black Butte Ranch. Kelsey up in Bend, Oregon. I've been up there many, many times. In the vacation rental space, Moving Mountains. April, thank you for joining. I really admire your company. You do a great job out there in Breckenridge area, and we're honored that you joined. And of course, our regular Sun Realty, Visa. We even have Sean Tibbetts sitting in. Second time, Sean. We need to catch up, see how you're doing. So enough for shout outs. Let's get started with our topic today on maximizing rates and overcoming rate objections. The job of reservation sales specialist is more challenging than ever before in the history of the accommodations industry. You know, I've been doing this for over 3 decades. In fact, when I was at High Tech, I bumped into a guy named Clay Snyder, who was actually with Omni Hotels in 1993, which was my first nationwide brand hotel chain. And we had a good time reminiscing. And back then, you know, rates were set in advance, usually based on season or day of week. Also, of course, adjusted for holidays and special events. But the rate was the rate. We actually printed something called rate cards. The rack rate was because there was actually a rack at the front desk. Well, by 1993, there no longer was a rack at the front desk. When I started about 10 years before that in the hotel business as a worker, there was. But now we have a lot of things that are changing. We have unique challenges that today's reservation sales specialist and also sales, if you're joining us from sales, again, this is a reservations month, but a lot of this does cross over. The rates, we have to explain rates that vary by distribution channel, okay? There's a lot of articles right now in hospitality marketing publication, Marcus Bush, that is going out of talking about onward distribution. When the revenue managers set a rate, put it to a third party, that third party then sells it onward and they take some of their margin. So even though we're in rate parity with Booking specifically or Expedia, do we give them a rate that we're in parity with on our website, and then they go and sell it? They're supposed to only sell it as part of a package, but some of these, and I'm not going to blame Booking here on this, but some of them, unknown, unnamed, go and sell it directly. And so we have rates out there lower than our website. We have rates that change either up or down frequently due to automation of revenue management. We have rates that come with more complex restrictions and fees than ever before. Do you ever feel like this person here? Some days. Now, who are we selling to? We're quoting these rates to and restrictions to the most savvy, best educated consumer in the history of the accommodations industry. So not only do they have their smartphone and their laptop, but they now have the power of AI to source rates very quickly. And also they know the rules, okay? In fact, if you're in hotel sales, I bet more than once you've had a planner say, well, let me tell you how to sell our group to your revenue manager, so they'll come back with a lower rate. They'll take our maximum rate cap. So they're very smart. Now, deal finding, in addition to all of these things, deal finding has become a passionate hobby and a source of personal satisfaction for the buyers. I often do chat up people that I meet in hotel lobbies. Recently, I was out in California, Pacific Beach, doing training. I love Pacific Beach, California. I'm a runner. At the end of my day of training, I go running up and down the lovely boardwalk there. Afterwards, yeah, I see a hot tub. They put me in a beautiful room right outside of the pool and deck area. I decide, you know, I'm going to go plop myself down, and because I do a long run when you got a nice view like that. And I met a couple. He was at a conference, and they had, instead of booking where the conference was, they took their per diem, and she was quite proud to have found such a great deal through her research, pretty much indicative of the mentality that is out there. People get a great deal of satisfaction in not necessarily the people that need the discount. Sometimes the people that need the discount the least are the most aggressive in their research, most persistent in their research, most aggressive in their negotiating to get the best deal. And so here's an interesting statistic. This is powered by AI Gemini. I actually did dive down into the sources here. And this is a good summary. I've seen these separately, but this is a good summary. How many websites does a typical guest search before booking a hotel room? Okay. Broad research on average, travelers consult up to 10 different sites, over 30 searches for a final purchase. Now, I believe this statistic is going to be leaning more towards leisure travel. Okay. We just went to San Antonio for a conference. You don't spend that much time looking online. Guests typically visit 3 OTAs like Expedia or Booking, specifically to compare prices. Direct interaction. A high percentage of guests visit that hotel website at least once for their final verification. And this is why we're going to talk about when people do call, it is a huge opportunity. So I'll come back to that in a moment. But for our marketing people on today and your commercial strategy people, check your website. How prominent is your phone number? We should love phone calls, okay? Because a direct booking by phone costs you far less than most website bookings. Think about all the costs. And again, I'm going to refer to a previous webcast where we discussed this. Those online bookings are not free. And when they actually call us, we have a chance to get that booking. So the webcast we're going to cover today is going to cover specific tactics to use based on situations that occur according to your company's rate quotation strategy. Okay, so I'll dig into that. According to the rates currently available, based on what dates the person is looking at. The restrictions that apply to those dates, are they advanced purchase? Is there minimum stays? Is for certain room types, categories? Which room types are remaining in the inventory? That's going to impact how you're going to negotiate when people call. What channel the buyer is looking at. And then finally, if you are empowered, if you have empowered, or how empowered your team is to negotiate with people that call the good old voice channel, or for our international resorts, a lot of times the negotiations take place by email. So this is a menu of different tactics according to all of these factors. Now, for those of you who are just joining us, which is the majority today, I'm going to do a quick recap to send you back to some other sources. In April, only 2 months ago, we covered the topic of why guests who are shopping online still call prior to booking and what to do about that. So this is where we talked about the cost of an online booking. If they book online, it is not free, even if it's your website direct, certainly if it's a brand. But also, besides that, if they go back online after they call, they may not select us if it's a third party. And I'll also refer back to parts 1 and 2 of our reservation sales quest, and that is December 2024 and in February of 2025. These are all available at our Kennedy Training Network YouTube channel. You can find the link at our website, or you can go to under resources, or you can just put into Google Kennedy Training Network YouTube channel and the link will come up. We have about 40 webcasts on there now. So a few reminders before we dig into the tactical part of theme of today. And in order to have a chance to overcome that rate objection first, we actually have to engage callers in meaningful conversations. We have to have that connection. Therefore, callers who sense indifference when they call, they will move on. But if you have authentic hospitality conversations, that will encourage them to share their objections. So that's why, as part of our Kennedy training and our reservation sales quest course, we really focus on asking more questions. The theme behind our program title, they're on a quest for a place to stay. We're on a quest for a direct booking. The key to everyone getting what they want is for us to ask questions that are conversation starters. So without repeating everything from 2 months ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, meaningful conversations start with articulate opening brand phrasing that conveys credibility. If you use the brand opening, but you don't sound at the right articulation, you don't have the right vocalics, you're not going to convey those hospitality vibes, they're not going to talk to you. And then speaking slowly conveys a helpful attitude. Good afternoon. Thank you for calling the Kennedy Hotel. This is Douglas. How may I assist you today? Or you can say the same word. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Kennedy Hotel. This is Douglas. How can I help you? Good afternoon. Thank you for calling the Kennedy Hotel. This is Douglas. How can I help you? Or really fast. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling Kennedy Hotel. This is Douglas. May I help you? No one's going to want to talk to you. So speak slowly, convey that vibe, make that connection. They're going to then get a chance to voice their rate objection. In fact, every time when we answer, we should be saying, please object. Because when they give us an objection, we have a chance to overcome it. We are humans. We can sense when and where to negotiate, okay? It's really interesting how that's happened, how that's evolved over the years. So remember a key point that I said a moment ago, people shopping online, as the stats that I showed you, 3 different OTAs or even more general searches that they're doing. They stop by your website. A lot of times they're not going to call and say, hi, I'm thinking about making a reservation, or they're not going to say, hi, can you check rates? They're going to say, I just have a quick question. What's the difference between this room category and that room category? Or how about parking? Or tell me something about a specific amenity. So if they have not booked yet, answer the question. And if they've not booked yet, you always want to say, have you made a reservation yet? Now that I've answered your question, Mr. Kennedy, can I just ask, have you made a reservation yet? You have not. Oh, well, can I help you find the best available rates? Okay, this is a screenshot opportunity moment. Always, always, always ask if they booked. And if not, let them know you're going to help them find the best available rates. If they have booked, it's your chance to upsell. It is your chance to cross-sell. It is your chance possibly to channel convert for the next time. So always, always, always say, may I just verify that reservation for you and make sure that you have our best available rates? Let me verify the reservation details. Let me pull it up and just double check it. Okay. This is how we show our heart of hospitality. This is how we start in conversations. All right. And then as I'm pulling those reservation up, Mr. Kennedy, if you've already booked, or as I'm checking those dates to check the best rates for you, Mr. Kennedy, may I just ask what brings you to town? May I just ask, are you celebrating anything special? May I just ask if there's any questions I can answer for you about our amenities and services? And now we have a conversation started, okay? So again, I'm recapping this because this is the ability to overcome a rate objection is predicated upon the fact that they actually voiced it. And they're not going to voice it unless we do that. Now, Sun Realty, Nizook, a lot of our other regulars, we love seeing you. I know you just heard this from me 2 months, and I know you heard this from me before, but I hope when we hear these things, it's relearning things in maybe a deeper way or reminding of us of what we already should be doing. So now let's get into the specifics of rate optimization. Now, upselling refers to convincing guests to select the higher rated accommodation types. This will actually be covered in our September webcast topic, soon to be uploaded to our website. It's not there yet. Rate optimization, today's topic, refers to selling the higher rate categories first and then offering discounts only when it is requested or if it is necessary for us to do in order to get the booking. Okay, so number one, and this is a kind of a funny one when you think about it, but we must first convince ourselves that the rates we quote are worth it. Have confidence. Now, I know a lot of us work in hotels or vacation rental companies or resorts that are not necessarily the level of property that we might stay at least if we're paying regular rate. Okay, maybe if you get an employee rate, you get a brand discount. Yeah, friends and family, something like that. Or you have connections. Yeah. Okay, or you work there and they let the employees stay. Well, most of us may not pay, especially during peak time. We may not pay the rates, normally may not pay the rates that we're quoting every single day. All right. So quote those rates with confidence, even if they seem high to you. I often tell the story. I started out in Lexington, Kentucky at the about 125th Marriott ever opened. And I thought our rates were really high. During peak season, we might be charging $129, $139. Okay. Growing up, we usually traveled in a camper pulled behind a station wagon. If we stayed in a hotel, a motel, it was a motel. It usually had the number 6 or 8 in the brand, Motel 6, Super 8. And here I am selling $129 a night rates. Okay, the minimum wage back then, I don't know, $5, $6 an hour, I think I made. Then I went to New York City, my next stop. We had on Fifth Avenue and 81st Street, right across from the Metropolitan Museum of Art, we're selling rates of $600 a night in the mid 80s when I was reservation manager. It took some confidence building for me to be able to quote those rates, okay? But it is their money, it is not yours. Managers, remind your team of that. Also, remember, they've probably already seen the rates online. Back then, people were picking up a hotel name out of a phone book or a directory. Now they're seeing the rates before calling. They may act shocked, but they already know. All right. Now remember this: some of you are ethical people, and you feel bad because you know there's discounts, there's promotions, there's lower rates you can offer, but your boss is saying quote this rate first and only quote those other discounts if you have to. Okay, and you feel bad. Don't feel bad. It is their money, not yours. It is their job to ask for the discount. It is our job to generate revenue to help our hotel pay the bills. You work in the currency factory, okay? You actually manufacture the revenue that keeps everybody employed, okay? Now, rate optimization. Do not discount when it's not necessary to do so. This is still going on. It's been happening in the early days of my training business. I'm pretty sure I did this when I worked at hotels because nobody told me it was my job to get money. I gave away discounts all the time. People would say, hi, I want to check rates. Don't do what I did. Don't say, oh, certainly. How many people? How many nights? How many beds? And by the way, sir, do you have AAA? Or in Canada, CAA? Are you military? What about ARP? Okay. You remind them to use that discount card. Okay. Do not say, oh, okay. And as I'm pulling that up for you, if you're a resort or vacation rental management company with selling 500 properties, you do email promotions. Marketing tells you, hopefully, when the email promotions go out. Don't say, oh, did you get the email blast we sent out this morning? Did you see our social media post about our exclusive rate offers? Yeah. Don't do that if you don't have to, okay? And if you're in a corporate market, we have a lot of you city center hotels that have BT, business travel, where companies have special negotiated rates. This is my opinion. Do not say, oh, what are your dates, Mr. Kennedy? How many nights? Does your company have a special company rate? Okay, it is their job to self-identify this. Now, front office managers, operations managers, you might want to debate this with me because then we have to go and adjust the rate at departure when they say, oh, I'm with the local huge company corporation down the road. We have a special rate with you. Okay, but most of the time they will self-identify. If we ask up front, does your company have a special rate, and they don't belong to that BT program on Lanyon, okay, then set up through Lanyon, then a lot of times they're thinking, no, you have lower rates. Why can't I get that? Okay. Now, do not inadvertently create an objection through, the term faux pas. Okay, it means like making a mistake that's embarrassing, saying something that really was kind of either embarrassing or inappropriate, something you shouldn't have said. All right. Do not say, oh, checking your dates. Oh, you're coming for July 4th in USA. We don't have any discounts at that time. All right. Oh, checking availability for October. Oh, it's fall colors up in the Northeast USA. That current promotion doesn't apply for your dates. Okay. And if it's a high demand date, okay, World Cup. Probably we are hosting World Cup, as is Mexico and Canada and throughout North America here. We are hosting World Cup. Do not, and Atlanta, we're not doing so good with our World Cup occupancy, but if you're in Washington, I'm sorry, if you're in New York City, Washington State, Seattle, I hear your occupancies are doing much better. Do not say check in availability. Oh, all we have left is our premier rooms. All we have left is our suites. All we have left is our premium category. And I can tell, sir, from your voice that you are both cheap and poor. And there's no way you can afford this. But I apologize. It's all we have. Okay. We make it sound like the best deals are gone and now you got to pay full rate. Pony up. All right. So what are we going to do? We're going to favorably frame any. Now, by the way, in this situation, instead of saying all we have left, we're going to say, fortunately, we still have some rooms left. And by the way, Mr. Douglas, these happen to be our best rooms. In fact, I can't believe they're still available. The view room, the premium room, the suite. Fortunately, we still have them instead of all we have left. All right. Favorably framing discounted rates. This applies when you're quoting any available rate that are lower than the highest demand rate. Okay, so I'm going to use the example of, let's say, red, yellow, green. Red would be the high demand rate, yellow would be the moderate demand rate, and green would be the low demand rate. Or we could use ABC. A is the high demand rate. So anytime you're quoting anything but the high demand rate for that room category, always mention if you're quoting mid or lower rates. So let's use the colors yellow or green. Mention the red rate in passing. Mention the red rate to favorably frame the yellow or green rate as being already discounted. Okay. So Mr. Douglas, just to let you know, the normal rate would be 300, but for your dates, I can offer you a rate of 275. Okay, so in online marketing, they call this slash pricing. Look at what Expedia does. They show the normal rate slash and what you will pay. Look at what Amazon does when you go to buy something from Amazon.com. So mention in passing the high rates. Not that you're going to, with this tactic, we're not referring to try to sell them at the higher rate. We talk about mentioning it and to frame the lower rates. Okay. Now, why do callers object to rates during peak demand? Why is that? Is because they're cheap and they're poor, but they still wanted to stay at the luxury 5-star hotel. Why did they object? Could it be just to test your reaction? As I mentioned, it's almost like a game today for many consumers that have the mindset. They get a tremendous satisfaction of getting deals, getting discounts, and saving money. Okay. They may be fine with the rate that you're quoting, and they may be fine with the rate and wanting to ensure that they're getting the best deal. They may simply want to make sure they're getting the best deal, even though they're willing to pay that top rate you just quoted. Okay. So when callers object to rates during peak demand, so World Cup, your room that sometimes sells for as low as $200 is now going for $500. Okay. So as we said earlier, don't say, oh, your dates are during World Cup. We only have the premier room and it's $500. Quote that rate with confidence. Okay. Now, when they say they're objecting to the rate during peak demand, they raise their objection because you had a nice conversation, you made a connection, you sounded like someone be open to talking to. Be confident. I want you to say this. Mr. Kennedy, I'm not sure if you had a chance to check around, but our rates are actually very competitive for our level of quality and service. Okay. It's saying in a nice way that we are the best. And I don't know if you check around. Well, we do have some really great value here at the hotel. So be confident. And a lot of them will say, okay, I'll take it. They're just testing you. Okay. So I'm not sure if you had a chance to check around, but our rates are very competitive. for our level of hotel, and I'd be glad to lock that in directly for you now. Put the information in for you. Note your special requests right now. Let's do it. Okay. Now, another thing you can do is say, by the way, are your dates flexible? If you could visit on other dates or other days of week or other times of year, the rates do tend to be lower. Do you want to change plans? No, we want to be there for World Cup. No, we want to be in Key West for Fantasy Fest. No, we want to be in Boston for July 4th. No, we want to be in Vermont for Fall Colors. Okay. No, we want to stay in Chicago on Tuesday night for business. Okay. But at least we're showing we're trying because we're here to help you get the best deal. Are your dates flexible? No. Well, we really do have the best rates, but would you ever consider a different category, such as at resorts, view, location, category, moving mountains? This may apply to you. Would you consider a different classification? Because all of our accommodations, they offer the same amenities and services, and there's so much to do here at our resort or a resort area here in Aspen. There's so much to do here. You might not be in your accommodation that much anyway. Okay. So when you peak demand, reinforce all of our rooms are great. Other categories might be good if you can't change dates. Okay. But be confident in doing it all because they already know the rates before they call you. This is the game we play. All right. Now, another tactic, moving on to our next tactic today. During peak demand, when the callers say, wow, that rate is way higher, they mention it specifically higher than what they expected or what they previously paid, such as when you're quoting a rate for the holiday, the special event, or the peak booking season. So they're saying, last time I stayed there, it was only 200, and now you're telling me it's 375. Okay. And think about, how do you explain that? Why are the rates so much higher during festive season in Mexico? Why are the rates so much higher during these dates? New Year's Eve in New York City, in Times Square. Why are the rates so much higher? What do we normally say? I know. We say this, oh, that's our busy season, so the rates go up. Or the rates are high because there's a special event in town. Or the rates go up on the weekends or on the weekdays if you're a corporate hotel. Tuesday, Wednesday night are more than the weekends usually. Or statements like these make it sound like the normal rate is the low rate and then we raise it. Okay. So we have a low rate and that's the real price of this room. Well, when it's busy, we raise that rate. That's how we frame this discussion. That's what we set the premise of our explanation. Oh, this is the holiday season, so the rates go up. You might as well say, well, sir, that's because the purpose of a hotel is actually to make money. And so we have this person called a revenue manager, and they get these reports called the STAR report, and also Hotelligence 360. And when they anticipate that demand is going to be high based on historical data or future bookings from Hotelligence 360, we actually move the rate upward so we can increase our RevPAR to generate a higher ROI because it is capitalism. That's basically what we're saying. Let me give you another way to say it. Oh, Mr. Kennedy. Well, actually, for these dates, the peak dates, all the ones I just referenced, for these dates in high season special event, best time of the year, this is actually when our normal rates apply. Sometimes when it's slower, a slower time of the year, slower day of week, like what you came last time when it was $200. Yes, when it's slower times, we're able to offer the lower rates because we're so nice. Not that we want to make money and generate an ROI and improve RevPAR. We want to help you get the best deal. So we lower the rates when it's slow. This makes it sound like the normal rate is the highest rate. Now, by the way, why have we not always explained this forever? When I worked in hotels, this is how I was told when people would say, whoa, why are the rates so high? Oh, because it's the peak season, Lexington, Kentucky. It's the Kentucky Derby, or it's a University of Kentucky home football game. So the rates go up because the normal rates is the cheapest rate ever. And then we raise it from there. No, the normal rate is the highest rates ever. And we're so nice that we lower it. Let's reframe our discussion. It's just as valid. Revenue managers, what do? Elasticity in pricing. When you need more occupancy, you lower the price to drive demand. Okay, this is what we do. So think about that tactic. Now, when the callers object to the rates during moderate and low demand, ask questions to keep them engaged, to help us discover their hesitancy. So when you quote the rate, some people come right out and they give us a loud objection, but some people simply go, oh, okay, thank you. Or you say, you quote the rate. And if you've been through Quest training, you know what we're going to say, right? These are the rates that I can offer. I can recommend 3 options. Which of those can I reserve for you? Oh, thanks, I'll call back. In either scenario, don't let them hang up. Ask questions to keep them going, to uncover their hesitancy. How does that rate sound so far? Does that sound like it's going to meet your needs? Keep them talking. Don't let them hang up on you. When they hang up, we have lost the opportunity to get them across the finish line. Imagine how much marketing and funds were done by the commercial team to generate that phone call or that email inquiry. Okay, how does that sound so far? Now, here's where we split off. Remember I said the tactics would vary according to your company's rate strategies. So I'm going to discuss what traditionally has been called the fade or fallback rate strategy. Some companies, some hotels, resorts, vacation rental companies, who else do we have here? Inns and B&Bs, they empower their staff to negotiate and offer special discount rates or value-added offers during shoulder or off season. You would not be doing this during peak season, I hope. They will empower you to offer the special rates for long stays or special accommodation types. Okay, what we call last sell accommodations, which are usually the lowest category, least desirable, or the ultra premium accommodations. So you may be empowered. Okay, if your company does not use this strategy and you work in a situation where you do not ever drop or negotiate, fade, or fall back, understand that your callers might have experienced this elsewhere. And therefore, if people say, is that the best you can do? Do you have any specials? Do you have any discounts? Here's your statement. If your company does not use this strategy, just say, oh, Mr. Kennedy, here at Brand X Hotel, we always do quote our lowest rates automatically. So this is the best value. We'd love to have you as a guest. May I secure that for you? Okay. So again, maintain your confidence. Now, let's talk about if your company does use the fade or fallback strategy. They have empowered you to negotiate when it makes sense to do so. So what we want to do here, do not simply drop the rate. Okay. Instead, help them qualify for that rate. A good way to do this is to say, oh, let me check further. Yes, Mr. Kennedy, let me check further. After a brief pause, create a statement of urgency. So maybe, I don't know, a few seconds. Now, some people put them on hold. I don't think we have to do that. Some people say, let me check further, and they count to 10. Some people lean your headset down to your space bar, tap that space bar a few times, click on some keys. Yeah. Maybe you have a second keyboard that's one of the old ones that clicks, has a loud click. Oh, let me check further. Maybe you can just make AI give you the sound of a computer keyboard. Press play. Okay. Now I'm trying to make it fun for you, but create that urgency and say, oh, Mr. Kennedy, in checking further, if we can confirm this for you now, I could offer you the special rate. This. Okay. So don't just drop the rate, because if you do that, they're going to be like, oh, that was easy. I just saved $50. Are you sure that's your lowest rate? They're going to hammer you again and again and again. I made it too easy. Or they're going to say, okay, well, that sounds like a good deal. I'm going to hang up and keep on checking because you made it too easy. But make them a little more effort here. Let me check further. Wow, I can't believe I found this for you, Mr. Kennedy, and checking further, I can confirm this for you. If I can confirm this for you now, here's what I can do for you. Can't guarantee it's going to be around later. Now you get them thinking, okay, that's a pretty good deal. So that's how we use fade or fallback specifically. Revenue managers, commercial strategy people, general managers, let me talk to you. I'm sure you all know in the United States about rate parity. If you are fortunate enough to be in Europe, you know the European Union Commission actually eliminated the rate parity clause, specifically in the booking.com legal actions. So you now have the ability in Europe to have a lower rate at your website than a higher rate at booking. Here in North America, at least in the United States, I'm not sure about Canada and Mexico, but I think also there, we still have to have rate parity. So there's a rate parity clause, and typically in Expedia and Booking, you will find, and it may vary by your company, but from what I've heard, it's universal. Your rate at your website cannot be lower than the rate you distributed to your third parties digitally. Aha! But when people call, you can quote. Now, I'm not a legally qualified representative. I do not know your contract. I can tell you I've never heard of Expedia or Booking or any third party mystery shopping your channel by voice to see if your people are quoting something less. If you're concerned about that, make it, instead of a lower price, make it a value added phone only special. Okay, so I don't know why we're not doing more of this. If you want to drive revenue and you want to drive direct bookings, you should be offering phone only specials. This applies to everyone. You know, we have an Econo Lodge signed up today. Thank you for signing up. We have 5-star hotels. I've referenced a few here today, Nizook, and also the Hazelton. Thank you, both of our clients. We have all levels of lodging, and this can be used everywhere. Even at Econo Lodge, you can do this. You have a phone only special, it's $5 less. Okay. So, but first, let me check further. Oh, if we can lock this in now, here's what I can do for you. This tactic works for everyone. You can save you can save, if you save your OTA commission at an Econo Lodge or limited service hotel, you might save $5, but at a luxury hotel like the ones I've named, and you save that 15, 18% OTA commission, now we're talking on a $500 room, you know, you are saving $100 possibly. You could give a pretty significant direct booking discount or throw in that free breakfast and you will still come out ahead. Not only that, but we secure the booking. Instead of losing it to someone else on the OTA list, we secure a direct booking, we get their email, so we now have a relationship with them. Now, they call back, the rates have gone up for the same room, okay? I know what our reservation salespeople want to say, yeah, I told you the rate could change, yeah. Which is why we want to always make sure we inform them when they say, oh, I'll call back before I let you go. Just to let you know, availability is limited. The rate could change. So let's lock it in now. If you've been to our reservation sales quest classes, you know that's always important. And then when they do call back and they say they're ready and the rate has gone up, you know confidently that you already offered, you already let them know the availability is based. Rates and availability are date sensitive. So, well, what do you mean? I called yesterday. I called a week ago. I called a couple of hours ago. The rate was 200 and now you're telling me it's 250? Yes, Mr. Kennedy, just like with the airlines, there's a limited number of seats at each fare code. Just like that, here at the hotel, that rate category is sold out. So yes, the premier room that earlier was 200 and is now 250, the $200 rate category is sold out. But I still have 250, and actually the normal rate for this room is 300. So it's still a good value, and I still have it. See how we pull all these tactics together? I hope you do. Now, when they ask about a specific promotional rate, they didn't read the fine print. Resorts, you do this. All of our Mexican attendees today, our Jamaica attendees today, our Dominican Republic attendees today, the ones that do a lot of promotion, because you got direct bookings, you have email addresses, you can do email promotions to bring guests back, okay? And they get the email promotion, but they don't read the fine print. They want that special, I don't want to say hurricane season. Oh, I said it. They want the October promotional special, but they want to book it for festive season during the holidays. Do not say, oh, that rate's not available during during holidays. Instead say, oh, so say, oh, sure, that offer is available for these dates. Okay. Can I check those dates for you? So don't say your discount promotion doesn't apply for your dates. Say, oh, yes, it is available for other dates. You see how we frame this? You know, phrasing, wording is very important. Okay. And so here's how it might go down. Hi, yes, I just got an email promotion and I wanted to, it's about a stay, pay 3 nights, get a 4th night free promotion. Okay, sure. And what are your dates? Oh, December 23rd. Oh, that's not available. Instead, say, what are your dates? December 23rd. Oh, well, that offer is available. It's available through early December. Can I check those dates for you? I believe the cutoff is around December 15th. Would you like me to check early December? No, we actually want to come in during the holidays for Christmas. Oh, that is a great time to come. We have so much going on here in the Caribbean resorts or city center resorts up in Toronto. There's so much, the city's beautiful during that time. Okay, so it is our normal rate supply. See the difference there is how we react and how we reframe it. But it all starts with having those conversations. Now, so we covered that. Now, why does the rate change? Mid-stay rate variance. Why does the rate change during the middle of my stay? Now, most of you on the webcast today probably have total rate quotation, total stay quotation strategy. So if someone is staying 4 nights, okay, let's use a resort in this case, Wednesday, Thursday, let's use it this way, Friday, Saturday, but they're staying Sunday, Monday. Typically, the rates are lower on a Sunday, Monday, and they're higher peak out on Friday, Saturday. So you quote a full stay rate, okay? And in that case, this will not apply unless the caller says, okay, how much is it each night? Or they may see on your website. So again, on third-party OTAs, it will actually show. I know also, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe it's Marriott.com rates and maybe other brands that show you the rate for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay, so they actually show you the rate each night, and then it shows you the total stay rate. So some of you may be thinking, this doesn't apply to me. That could be true. But with your caller, your guest finds out the rate night variance. It's easy to explain when the high rate are the first 2 nights, and then the rate goes down. So for Friday, Saturday, the rate is 300. For Sunday, Monday, the rate goes down to 250. Nobody ever complains about that. But the guest that arrives on Wednesday and Thursday and then stays Friday and Saturday, the rate goes up. That doesn't make sense to them for some reason. So, hello, Douglas reservation agent. I just saw online that the rate is 250 for Thursday and Wednesday and Thursday, and then it goes up to 300. I don't want to have to change room. Why does the rate go up? Oh, it's actually because we have this thing called revenue management. We want to increase our RevPAR, so we adjust rates according to demand, and that's a busy time, and we're going to charge you more. No, don't say that, please. Instead, say, oh, for the last 2 nights of your stay, our normal rates apply, but the first 2 nights we're able to offer you the discount because we're so nice. Yes. Okay. So for the first 2 nights, the rate is 200, then it goes up? No. For the last 2 nights of your stay, our normal rate applies. But for the first 2 nights, it's lower because we're so nice and we lower the rates for you. Doesn't that sound better? So again, verbiage, vocalix is the tone of voice, how we say it, in a calm, slow way. We see these things all the time. We understand we're hoteliers, right? They're not. They're not. It's confusing. Slow down our rate of speech. Let them process. Now, again, some of them are very slick buyers. They travel a lot. They know the rules. They're playing the game. But either way, speaking slowly and clearly makes it sound like you're willing to have a conversation. Makes it sound like someone they want to buy from. And those are the ones that say, okay, does it help you if I book it with you? Reservation sales agents, you know you get this all the time. We hear this when we score actual recordings for our clients. You know, our team scores over 1,000 reservation calls every month. At least half of those we're downloading real audio recordings from real callers. And if you speak slowly and make that connection, they're much more likely to want to book with you. All right, minimum stay requests. We just got a few more here as we round the corner. For your date, hi, I want to stay on Friday and Saturday, and it's Memorial Day in the United States or Labor Day. These are Monday holidays. They're tied to a day of week. Juneteenth is on the 19th of June, but Memorial Day, Labor Day in the United States are Monday. So I'll use a US example since I know that the best. We do have a 3-night minimum stay during holiday weekends at resorts in North America. So, but I only want to stay 2 nights. Oh, well, we do have a 3-night minimum stay. Are you able to extend your visit? If yes, fine. Book them for the 3 nights. Okay. And if no, then say, well, I think, Mr. Kennedy, if you do check around most of the resorts here, they do have a 3-night minimum stay. But here's the good thing, Mr. Kennedy. On the last day, you can linger longer on your last day of your vacation. You don't have to check out at noon or 10 if you're a vacation home. You can stay later. You can enjoy the day. You can take a later flight, or you can head back. If you're driving, you can head back. Or on the other side, if you can handle this operationally, Mr. Kennedy, you can reserve the additional 3rd night prior to your arrival, and then you'll get access immediately when you get here. So 3-night minimum stay. They want to stay Friday, Saturday. Let them pay for Thursday. Lock the room. You have to be able to handle this operationally. That they prepaid for the night prior to arrival. They want to arrive at 10 a.m. The home's going to be ready. The condo, the room will be ready, guaranteed. You don't have to wait until 4 o'clock. So this is how we sell the extra night. Okay, doesn't always work, but it's our best shot. If you try this 10 times and it fails 9, but it works once, you've succeeded. And when people have busy schedules, you know, my wife is a physician, she can't get away from the hospital. Okay, well, the good thing is on the last day on the holiday, you can stay in the room as late as you want. Oh, that's a really good idea. Yeah, because if not, you're going to be out late or up with the family, up playing board games or swimming in the pool till 10 p.m. and then watching Disney DVDs, or no, watching Disney stream on Disney Plus. I haven't watched a Disney movie. We used to watch them on computer CDs with the kids. But you're up late swimming, watching Disney Plus movies late at night. You don't have to wake up and check out by 10 or 11. You can linger that day. You know what? Let's do it. All right, parking fees. Parking. Oh, this is a shout out to city centers, New York, Toronto, Chicago. Who else is here? Big cities. I remember most recently when it was probably 5 years ago actually that I parked in New York City. I don't want, it was an Upper East Side hotel. I don't want to shout out the name. It was $90, okay, just for parking. I'm probably even higher now. $90 to park. Oh, I know, Mr. Kennedy, the parking it's crazy. And if you want to be more formal. Yes, Mr. Kennedy, parking is at a premium here because of our great location at the city or at the beach. Okay, beach resorts charge for parking, right? Parking is at a premium because we are right here at the beach. Okay, but just to let you know, our parking is secured or our parking is underground or covered, so your car won't be too hot in the summer or too cold in the winter. Okay, and we also offer the unlimited in and out privileges. Yeah, parking is at a premium. Disagree with them. And finally, our last one, objections to resort fees, hotel fees. This has been around like what, 20 years now? It is widespread. In fact, shockingly, I got this recently. You know, hotel fees are now expanding, even parking to suburban locations. I'm like, really? $5 parking at a suburban location or now a hotel fee. Okay. What? I have traveled all around the world. I have never paid a hotel fee. Yeah, really. So they will probably not be so surprised, but they may act with surprise because they want to fight to have you waive it or remove it. And again, some hotels may empower their people to do that if it's a long stay, a high rate, multiple categories. That is a rate strategy decision. But if your revenue manager is saying no, never waive resort fee, okay, just say, well, just to let you know, and I'm using first name formality here. You may call them by their first name. Just to let you know, Douglas, like other hotels in the area, we do have a hotel fee, which covers, and then point out the things which are specific to their situation. Okay, and hopefully you have those that do cover. Okay, so if they don't have children, don't tell them it includes the kids club. Focus instead on the 2 free beach chairs or beach towels, whatever it is that you're offering. So this has really been a unusual webcast presentation because not everything will apply to everyone, but I hope something does apply to everyone from here today. We have covered different tactics for maximizing rates, overcoming rate objections, profit optimization based on the specific tactics, based on the availability of accommodations, what your rate strategy is, and how you have been empowered at your location. So I hope you have enjoyed your time with me today. Please join us. Okay, here's the actual dates correctly. I think I did give this right. Next month, we cover polite, proactive, productive hotel sales prospecting, which I have new content just learned at the HSMAI Commercial Strategy Conference to share with you. In August, we have a fun one. This is actually a hospitality topic, but it's also a little bit thought leadership. The title is a long one. Technification is causing commoditization. Stand out through humanification. What I'm talking about here is the more we insert technology in the guest booking and stay cycle, the fewer interactions we have, the more important each one is. So every human interaction is an opportunity. Because if we take the human out and we automate through technification, we become a commodity based on price. So please join us for that. Look also for us on YouTube, Spotify. This is Kate's video training tip. She's doing a really fun one this month. You'll get in our newsletter. If you're not signed up for our newsletter, please do. And let us know if you like on-site training or private live webcam training around the world. Those of you joining us from Malaysia, Europe, conference presentations. I do a lot of conference speaking. And then, of course, our mystery shopping or our call scoring based on recorded calls. As always, feel free to reach out to me directly. And thank you again for joining us. Please spread the word to others in other departments and divisions for your colleagues today. We hope to see you at the next KTN webcast.